What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to TechCubed, and today we are going to be taking a look at Parallels. Now, this is part 3 to a series where we are taking a look at different VirtualBox alternatives. And today, since we are doing Parallels, we are on a Mac. Yes, today I am on my 13-inch M2 MacBook Pro, but I do have it connected to an external monitor that is a 16:9 aspect ratio monitor, so it will look much better for those of you that are watching at home compared to a regular Mac screen. So that's what we are doing today, and of course we're on a Mac because, well, that's kind of what Parallels is designed to be used on. So without further ado, we're going to be taking a look at, well, what you can expect with Parallels. We're also going to be taking a look a bit about Parallels itself. So first off, if you go to parallels.com, what you're going to see is this. Basically, you come to here and it tries to get you to get a free trial, and because basically this is one of the only ways to get Windows to run on an Apple Silicon MacBook or Mac in general. Now, the thing with this is, what you get with Parallels, it's pretty interesting. So it's not like a standard virtualization thing. It's pretty watered down in a way, but simpler to use. So with like VirtualBox, VMware, and all that, how we've looked at in the past, what you do is you go and you set it up, of course, and you do all that yourself with your ISO disk images and all that. This literally does it all for you. You install the program, you launch it, and then you click you want to install Windows, and it does it for you. So it's very simple. There's almost no effort you have to put into getting anything on Parallels to run. And that is definitely very appealing to some people. However, we're going to be taking a look and seeing if it's really worth it to go and get Parallels, since it is a paid program. There is a free trial that lasts for 15 days. That's what we're going to be taking a look at today. As far as I know, the free trial is absolutely no different from the official program itself. It's just you can only use it for 15 days. But that's what we'll be taking a look at today. Just kind of see if it is, a good way to get Windows to run on an Apple Silicon Mac. Because, of course, you have an Intel one, you have Boot Camp, you can do all that stuff. So, come here, you can buy it now, or you can get a free trial. If you click on getting a free trial, it'll bring you to this right here. Run Windows on your Mac without rebooting. 14-day trial. Oh, it said 15 in the program. Okay, so I guess it's 14. I'm not sure. It was a little different for me because when I did get it, it did say 15-day trial. That shouldn't make a difference though, but when I got it, it did say 15. Again, shouldn't make a difference. However, get started within minutes. Download and install Parallels Desktop for Mac. So basically, there is a Microsoft Windows version as well, but I can't imagine it's anywhere near worth it compared to some of the options you have for Windows. So of course, you come down here, get a free trial, or you can buy it now. And when it comes to paying for this, it's certainly not cheap. Now, the thing is, with this, you do get some more features. Like, you can do more RAM and do more CPU cores and all that. Stuff that maybe the average user wouldn't be too concerned about. However, they do say that you can do all this, but there's, the standard version, then there's the professional pro editions and all that. So, this, which is $100, is it worth it? Well, it's honestly up to you to decide. I'm just going to be showing you what the program is like today. And, well, we're just going to be taking a look at it. So, how it is with Parallels, once you get everything installed, you're going to get this on your home screen where it says Windows 11. Now, well, if you've got Windows 11, it will say that. As far as I know, you can still get Windows 10. And I think they have some Linux options available. However, 9 times out of 10, you're going to be getting Parallels to run Windows anyway. And most likely nowadays, it's going to be Windows 11. However, once you start it up, it's going to start up Windows 11. And what happens is it's pretty similar. It's pretty much the exact regular Windows boot up because it is Windows. Now, of course, it's going to try and make you buy it and all that. And it's going to be like, oh, you're still on your free trial and all that. But then again, you do have 15 days or 14 days, depending on who you ask. It did say 15 for me. Again, it shouldn't make a difference, but it did say 15 for me when I did get this because, it said 15. Anyway, so we're going to be taking a look at, well, Windows. This is exactly Windows. However, it's interesting because compared to other pieces of software for virtualization like VirtualBox, VMware, and all that, Some of the ones we've already gone over. The thing is about this compared to, um, again, VirtualBox and all that, is it's way more integrated with your operating system. Like you can run all these Windows apps actually in the background of your main OS. So you can have, say, Safari going on your Mac, and then you could have like the Windows File Explorer open, but it's not in the virtual machine, even though it kind of is. It's hard to explain. Basically, it's way more integrated with your operating system. And again, that can be more useful for some people. Again, this really isn't an enthusiast type thing. This is more of a, you need to have Windows on your Mac for some of the software or whatever you're doing. But, you own a Mac, but you need the Windows software. That's mainly what it's here for. It's not here for enthusiasts because it really does everything for you and all that. However, it's still interesting to look at if you do want to get something that's simple and easy to set up, even though you do have to pay for it long term, unless you do want to go for the free trial, which is 14 to 15 days, depending on who you ask. Also, another thing that's interesting as well, right off the bat, when you go to get Parallels running, they need some permissions, like, obviously for your camera, your microphone, and all that, to use camera and microphone. However, you do have the ability to go through Mac files and all that. So on here, you can move files seamlessly between your Mac and then your Parallels Windows 11 VM. And that's pretty interesting and pretty useful if you are working between Windows and Mac for professional use. That's going to be very useful to have that. However, this is pretty much Windows. This is Windows. There's nothing else to say. It's Windows. It's not like a stripped down version of it, and it is running on Apple Silicon. Because if we go to settings and then we come over to where it says about, you can see here it is Apple Silicon 3.2 gigahertz, because this is the M2 processor on a 13-inch MacBook Pro. So again, and it is using only 4 gigs of RAM, but only 3 gigs are usable. But honestly, yeah, you could argue 4 gigs is not a lot by today's standards, and it really isn't. Like my main editing PC has 64 gigs of RAM. But to be fair, even 64 gigs is a lot. However, most computers nowadays that you're going to buy are going to have like 16 gigs of RAM, maybe 8. However, 4 gigs is not a lot. But at the same time, it's really not running bad at all. It runs pretty well. And especially since you are getting a lot of integrated support, you can even run a lot of other games and stuff like that. And I've seen people do that as well. So, Photos Media Engine add-on. I'll be sure to not check that out later. But you can do a whole lot of stuff with this. It's not stripped down Windows. Now, it is an ARM version of Windows because, this is an ARM processor. Apple Silicons are ARM processors. So this is pretty much one of the few ways to get Windows on a Mac if you do have an Apple Silicon Mac M2, M1, or one of those M1 Pros or M1 Max or M1 Ultras. If you do have like a Mac Studio or something like that. So this is one of the ways to get that going on one of those if you are, say, a professional working at a studio and you need some of the Windows software. It's not available on Mac. This is a great way to do it, especially with how integrated it is, that some people may find that useful. So there is that, definitely, but at the same time, when you do use this, it is pretty expensive. So you really have to consider that as well. You get a free trial, and then it's over, and that's it. Like, even with VMware and all that, you had your VMware Player, which was your free version of the more expensive version of VMware. And, the free version, which we checked out in a previous episode of this series, it really worked pretty good. It gave most of the features that you would want for a normal user. They didn't have, like, encryption and stuff like that, but most people aren't going to want that anyway in a virtual machine. So, you do miss out on some of the more features that are more hands-on with this, and you do miss out on a whole lot of that type of stuff you would get with a more enthusiast directed piece of software. However, again, this isn't really designed for that at all. It is really more for those basic, you want to get Windows up and running for some of the software, you're in a studio, professional, whatever. This is really more for that, and you need to get Windows up and running using a Mac. That's really what it's designed for. However, I think if you're on a Mac, this is it's interesting, that's for sure. Mainly because of the integration. That's a feature I've not seen before, and I think Parallels is one of the only piece of software to actually have that level of integration where you can run it like that. Basically, if you click right here, what it does is it lets you run your programs like an actual Mac program. And if you really want that, then you can go get Parallels. But the main thing is the price. It's not cheap, because you can get VMware Player for free. You get VirtualBox for free. And there's open source options and all that. No, this is definitely paid. Again, though, for the people that really need this, you're most likely going to be able to pay that. So it really comes down to what you're looking for in this. Now, there are other ways to get Windows up and running on an ARM-based Intel Silicon Mac. However, those are way more involved. Maybe I'll make a tutorial about it in the future because I do plan to cover this Mac in the future. However, that's very, very involved. And, well, compared to something like this anyway, it's very involved compared to this, where you install it and then you click and let it run. And install it for you. Like, it downloads it from Microsoft. You don't even need to provide ISO disk images, any of that. You don't need to do all that. You just click download and install, and it does it all for you. So it's very simple to set up. And when you start at Parallels, it starts up Windows for you. And there's almost no effort to getting this up and running. So if you do want that simplicity, this is definitely here. And I don't know. I just think this isn't personally for me. I wouldn't pay for this and actually use it because, I don't know, this just isn't as hands-on as I would like it to be. You can't really get a lot of those intricate controls and features and things you can with VMware or VirtualBox. However, if you do need something like this, I think it's certainly an option to look into. However, it's not watered down at all. It's just you are getting official Windows. It is ARM Windows, but it's official Windows. You can still run it with your Microsoft account, do all that. But it's simple setup. Like, again, I said, you click a couple buttons, it's done for you. But it doesn't even go through the Windows setup. It sets it up for you. So you can click install Windows and then come back later and you'll be on your desktop. It doesn't go through where you set your Microsoft account and then your local accounts and all that and your password. It doesn't do any of that. It just sets it all up for you. Again, so that is something to look into if you do want something simple to use and all that. However, for most people, for most enthusiasts, this is probably not something you're going to want. However, again, I think if it's for you, it's for you. I will leave a link to this down in the description below if you do want to check it out or get more information on it from their official website. However, I think that will be mostly it for today. All right, let's get the shut down now because, again, Windows, it gets shut down. It should close itself out. But yeah, I think that will be mostly it for me today. Hope you all enjoyed. If you do have some suggestions, anything you would like to see on the channel, leave it in the comments below. I loved reading your guys' comments. So if you do have anything you want to see in the future, just leave it down below. I'll definitely take a look at it and get back to you as soon as I can. However, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I will see you all in the next one. Tech Cubed, over and out.